Well, good morning, everybody, and welcome back to the channel. So I'm going to dump some government juice into 220 real quick this morning. I broke my little spout off my jug, so I had to use a funnel, which actually I think the funnel's a little faster, actually, than my little spout. So we'll get this poured in. I run out yesterday. Ran out of fuel yesterday, too. I had fuel, but I forgot to bring my DEF with me. So George got me a jug of DEF this morning and poured. George is using a loader to stack up the pile so we can get it burning again. We started this job yesterday. This will be part 2. Not sure if we're clearing the scrap yard or we're clearing the woods. It's a lot of scrap out here. But the idea of what we're doing is we're clearing off 4 or 5 acres here for a friend of mine. Trying to get him some long rows or more long rows on this farm. If we get cleared what we got to clear, that'll give him a lot more half-mile long rows and less shade and everything else. It kind of straightens up one side of the farm so we don't have as many point rows. So we'll get this poured in, we'll get started here. Got the excavator running, warming up. Nice thing about these Hyundais is they're really forgiving on their DEF system. Like this one, it's had a bad DEF quality sensor for forever, and it doesn't affect the performance of the machine. A lot of machines, if they have a DEF quality issue or sensor issue, they'll go into limp mode. Not this one. So I like the way that Hyundai designed that so that it doesn't make the rest of the machine fail just because of one stupid little sensor. I'm not out of production because of a bad sensor. So that is something that I really appreciate with this machine. Now the Bobcat, it's had a DEF quality sensor issue before, and it puts it right into limp mode. It won't run more than an idle. Alright, let's get started. I've got the tripod so I can set that up so we can get some outside view today. Turn the camera, get a little view of George over there, getting that pile racked up. 621's doing really good with the new transmission. Conditions are wet and sloppy out here, as you can see. So he's not getting the maximum traction that the loader has the ability to get. So he's doing what he can. I'll go over there with the excavator and stack that higher. But we didn't realize we have 4th gear now. We never had 4th gear before. It was only a 3-speed. Now it's got 4 speeds. So we're not sure if it was just a junk solenoid or what the deal was, but it's definitely got 4 gears now. So that's pretty cool. Alright, let's get started. Alright, let's get this pile racked up. George went ahead and pushed some of the stuff around the outsides to me here. Should be a lot of scrap in this pile. A lot of stuff growed in trees. It's been a fun project so far because you just never know what you're going to find as you go. So I made a YouTube short of that shear sitting over there, which I'm not quite sure the exact purpose. I know it's a shear for steel, but I don't know if their purpose was actually to be in a factory to cut new steel, or if they were designed for scrap processing, or what their actual intention was when they were actually built. But I've seen several videos of cutting up like round rods and bar stock and flat stock and stuff like that for scrap purposes. But I am going to take it home. I know by popular demand on that YouTube short, everybody's like, oh, take it home, take it home. So yeah, I'm going to definitely save it, take it home. And my goal is to run it with a flat belt off of one of the 2-cylinder John Deeres. I thought that would be kind of cool. I did see a video, I seen it somewhere, it might have been on TikTok. A guy was running one with a John Deere 620, and he was cutting up old oil well pump rods with it. Just put them in there and it snips them. So if anybody has any history on those shears, and let me know in the comments what they were actually intended for. I think it'd be kind of cool to know. But yeah, definitely going to bring it home and do some videos on it. It's one of them things, if you scrap it, once it's gone, and there's no getting it back. Like there was a sawmill that was out here, and it was in pretty rough shape, but they beat me to it, and they got it put in a scrap trailer before I got here, or got back over here. So I missed out on that. I wanted one of the log dogs off of it, just in case I ever get a chance to put my sawmill back up, which I'd like to. But now with the baby on the way and stuff, things are going to have to slow down a little bit, and I just don't know if I'm going to have time here in the near future to get the sawmill up. And dangerous wise, I don't know, maybe I shouldn't even mess with it. But we got, what have we got? 7 weeks till the baby's here, I think. Yeah, I can't remember. I'll have to ask Madison. Whatever March 2nd brings us, because it's January 7th now. So that's due date. And I know things are going to slow down. I know some YouTube creators, they kind of just take time off, but I'm not going to slow down, or not going to complete, or can't talk this morning. I'm not going to quit doing YouTube videos totally when we have our baby. I'm going to stay at it some. Might slow down a little, but not going to slow down tremendously. I don't feel like a leave of absence is necessary for a couple months. I mean, I'm used to being busy anyways. This pile got piled every which way because of just the nature of how we've had to bring material to it, but that's all right. It's got a large enough ash bed that I can lay stuff every which way and it's still in something hot. Usually you try to stack a pile so it all falls into each other as it burns and doesn't bridge up. And actually I've had success both ways. Pile it every which way, the stuff still seems to burn really good, or pile it all in the right direction so when it falls, it all keeps falling down on each other. It's just the luck of the winds overnight is what makes them burn really good. If you get the wind to change part way or a different direction overnight, it seems like no matter which way they're stacked, they burn good. If you keep a same wind pattern overnight, they sometimes get here in the morning and they're just burnt out in the center and that's it. Alright, we'll let that get burning again, and I'll come back and I'll clean up around it a little more. I gotta get these two oaks out right here. Old sickle bar mower. Pull that over there. Some sort of old planter growed into the tree. Bicycle frame, you name it, it's out here. Barrels. Just amazes me that I don't know if they just came home and brought their truck back here and just unloaded it or what they did, but it's like how'd all this stuff get in this woods? Was it intended on being a scrapyard at one time, or is this just collection of stuff over years? That's a barrel. These are plastic. There's some barbed wire. Barbed wire out of there. Oh, what do we got here? It's like an old combine ladder, some sort of blower. There's a coulter from a plow. Sort of refrigerator unit. A little stouter than I thought. Maybe not. Seen Dirt Perfect had a little accident on his last video with a tree falling over the stick. Glad to see he was okay. Didn't hurt nothing really, it didn't look like. Maybe a grease line or so on the end of the stick there, but it happens clearing trees. You never turn your back on them, that's for sure. Especially if you're clearing around a certain tree. Always keep your eye on it. So if you dig one out beside it, you end up weakening the root system under that one next to it. It's like anything else. It's like getting an excavator stuck. You do it long enough, you're eventually going to have it happen. I just wish these Hyundai hose had a steel roof cover instead of a plastic one. It's got a steel cab roof, but it's got a yellow plastic over it, and it's just kind of a bad design because when treetop or dead chunks fall out of treetops, it breaks that plastic roof. Like mine's got a couple cracks in it right now. It's just kind of, I need to make a steel roof cap for it. I need to build a cab guard for this machine in general, like the one I did for the 200 Hitachi. That cab guard don't seem like much, but it is 2-inch square tube, 1/4-inch wall, and I'll tell you what, that has stopped some stuff. I've dropped foot in diameter cherry trees on it. It stopped them. I've had stuff lean against it. I've had stuff smack it. It's been pretty impressive how well that cab guard's worked. My door handle's squeaking. Bust the top out of this tree before I get it too lightweight and it won't lay there. Stout one. There we go. So I don't know if anybody noticed, but when we were putting def in this machine, you can see that we cleaned and straightened that side of the machine all up after my little episode of getting it stuck. We took the side panels off and we straightened them out, cleaned everything up, and you can't even tell it ever happened. The side panels wouldn't have gotten smashed if we could have got around beside it and dug a little with the 270, but I wasn't about to take the 270 on that side of the 220 and do that. It was pretty soft over there, and I'm like, I'm not chancing getting two excavators stuck. So we just went ahead and we got the 220 to swing, and then when we swung it, all the muck pushed against them side panels and bowed them in. But no big deal, it's all straightened out, everything looks great. We fixed the floor in the toolbox. I don't know if I ever showed you that. I accidentally, it's been a year and a half, 2 years ago, a tree got caught in the tracks, a treetop, and I was tracking, and it dragged the tree around, and the log got wedged between the bottom of the toolbox and the track, and it forced the bottom of the toolbox up, and it bent it. Well, while we had it in the shop, we took the toolbox all off, and I used my 60-ton Porter Power ram, and George and I massaged that back straight, made it look good again. Maybe split that. Let's see. Part way down, I split it. Didn't split the whole stump though, but that's all right. Get that up out of the hole and get that stump cleaned off some more. Oh, some more metal right here. So I can get it. And T-posts. Imagine that out here. Darn it. Just can't seem to get him. There, I got him. Well, thought I got him. Struggling with it today. There we go. I'll get out and throw them in the scrap. Alright, I'm going to get this stump up out of here, get this area cleaned up, and then we'll move on. Well, we got all them trees out. We're going to start doing a little raking here. There's a lot of rotten utility poles and just all kinds of stuff buried here. See what we can sort out and find. Rake it into piles and oh, look at there. Got us a track. There's the second one. I've been looking for it. Found one earlier. I think they're off an old Clee track, Oliver Clee track, because I found a radiator, the top tank, it said Clee tracks, all cast iron, and then I found the sides. The core was gone, of course. Probably deteriorated long ago out here. There's a rock. Piece of pipe. Twice. I'll get the bulk of it off and then come back and rake it again. Bucket back on, sort some of this out. It's like I've told everybody before, I can't really use my thumb with this rake that great because the thumb hits the rake just like so, and it won't come all the way tight against the rake. Cab door shut. I had to shut the door because my camera was kind of bobbing around a little bit. I got out to readjust my one pin in the rake because they just kind of free ball in there. Need to get some pins for it. I know I say that every time I use it. Just always forget to get them for it. The one's like a heavy wall pipe with a pin slid through the center. make a 80mm pin. Stump, it's just a rock. Alright, I'm going to put my bucket on and clean that up. Get that dozer track out of there. Carry that and get rid of it. Guys ask me all the time if this rake will go back on a dozer. I suppose you could make it so it could go back on a dozer. You just have to shim it out from the blade a little bit to make up for the way that the mounts for the excavator are. So it's not just pushing right in one spot on the blade. But honestly, after having it on the excavator, I just don't think I'd want it on a dozer. Because I kind of like just sitting in one spot like I just did, raking stuff up and then just grabbing it. If not, you're making all them trips shoving with the dozer. When conditions are perfect, you just grab it with the loader and carry it to the pile. Really saves on undercarriage. Then when you're done raking, you can kind of do this and get some more of the dirt out. See, I'll get rid of the bulk of this, and then I'll come back and I'll continue raking even more. Just like so. I'll take this to the pile. I'll scatter that over the top, and it'll burn up and be gone. Best way to do it when you got some material with dirt in it is to go like this with it. Just kind of sling it into the pile, and as it hits that heat of the pile, I swear it makes like a vortex of air when the heat's coming out, and it sucks a lot of the dirt out. That's why stuff around the piles, like if you leave a pickup set close, it'll have like sand on the windshield. It's almost like that pile creates a draft, and it actually sucks that dirt and sand out of the pile as it burns. Now, I'm not saying put full bucketfuls in there, but like if you got just some dirt and stuff like this, you know, it's amazing what'll come back out of a pile. Now, it takes a hot fire to do that. I often say that some of these piles get so hot they create their own weather patterns above them, and it really seems like they do. Yeah, see, like stuff like that. Shake the dirt out of it a little bit, put it right in there, and it'll burn. It'll go away. Just like so. Scatter it over there. Them utility poles, I'm surprised they got creosote in them, and they're still burning a little black. I thought the creosote would be dried out of them by now from them laying out here, but apparently it's still some pretty good stuff. Well, I want to condense some of this scrap out of my way, get this grain truck out of the way here, shove it into the rest of the pile. Clean up under it where it was sitting. I think this is a cab door for a John Deere combine, maybe. Kind of looks like it. Other crap we got laying here. T-post, some kind of roller of some sort, probably off an old rotor tiller for depth or something. That's what it kind of looked like. I want to try to clean up as much as I can right now, as far as little trees and stuff. A lot of roots. Throw that in a burn pile and get rid of it. That dozer, I don't know what it is. It's not in good shape at all, so it's junk. There's no stumps here no more. There were some small sumac stumps I was worried about, because they were kind of grown in under stuff. Now we'll just rake this area and this will be clean. Alright, that spot's cleaned up. Now we just gotta go around that one over there. So I said earlier in the video that you get a pile hot enough, it kind of sucks the sand right out of it or dirt right out of it. Well, this is what I mean. Look at this. It's all dirt. My truck's been sitting downwind of the fire. It's kind of crazy how that works. Well, let's see if we can pick it up. be all right. It definitely is a heavy piece. Up. I don't want to curl it. Love it. Well, let's try it. Should sit on the rails, shouldn't it?
Yeah, it's between the rails.
Oh.
Well, this side's on the rail.
That might work. So we got that shear home last night. We took it to the elevator and weighed it, and them tables that I took also. So a viewer was surprised that the 220 was struggling with it, because he must have Googled what a 220 will lift. For some reason, when you Google what an HX 220 Hyundai lifts, it says 25,000 pounds. They do not come anywhere near lifting 25,000 pounds. I don't know why Google says that, but they don't. At 14 feet in front of the tips of the tracks, it'll lift about 10,000 pounds, and that's about it. So I even had to take my bucket off to actually get that shear high enough to get it up on the trailer, because I was just out of lift. Just did not have the power to get it up there. So definitely these won't lift 25,000 like Google says. I wish it would lift 25,000. That'd be awesome. But it only weighs 52,000, so that'd be a lot for it to lift. I'm gonna get these cottonwoods rooted out here. Then I'll get around the other side of them and bust them up, take them to the pile that we're making down on this end now. Let's see if we can shove these over. They're not rooted in very well because it's kind of wet down here. Maybe. Be careful what I do here. I don't want to end up with them broke over the top of the machine. We get kind of high. Oh yeah, there we go. Tables that I took home, they're originally from a muffler and exhaust manufacturer from this area. I found tags on them, and they were made for forming exhaust pipe or something, I'm assuming. But the machines are like bolted to these tables. It's got a lot of hydraulic stuff to it. And the tabletop itself is like 1.25 plate. So I'm like, that's gonna make a beautiful welding table once I strip all the other stuff off. So that's my plan. I'm gonna strip all the other stuff off that I'm never gonna use and scrap that to recuperate some of my money from it. Get around the other side and start busting them tops up, get them to the pile that we're making over here. I gotta find some dirt to drag in this hole. I can drag a little of this in there, we'll see. It's really uneven out here. Probably gonna have to haul some sand from the ditch bank or something eventually to fill it all in. My camera mounts are starting to get wore out. Not holding my camera as good as they used to. Pretty quick work of them cottonwood trees. be able to drive right up and grab those. Move this down for him. There we go. Might as well throw this stuff in there. Get the bulk of it cleaned up, and we'll come back and rake it all and look real nice. Sure is nice having a loader back around, that's for sure. So this does curve around back here, so we're gonna follow this around and clear this cleared out spot some more, because the trees were pretty thin through there. So we're gonna go ahead and make that farmable. Might take a few more of these out, I don't know. What we'll do is we'll do a rough draft. We'll get everything tore out. I'll have Cody come look at it and see if there's some more he wants out or what he wants to do. It's the easiest way to do it. I want to make it so when he plants over from that ditch over to here, he's got a 16-row planter. I want to make it so it comes out even, so he doesn't have any, like, I don't want him to get all the way over here and then have to plant like 4 rows. I'd rather him come all the way over here and finish off with a complete 16, within 4 foot of the line that we clear. Just makes life easier all around. The only bad thing about clearing after a logger has went through is the flush cut stumps. There's no tree on them for leverage to get them out. So you gotta dig them out. These don't come out too bad. This is more of a muckier soil. It's not a super soft muck like I got stuck in. This is just a muck. It's got a lot of sand in it. Not extremely organic. And there are different mucks. They're not all the same. Now the muck I got stuck in at my buddy Mike's, that was peat moss muck. That was bottomless crap. And we're starting to rock it. Just got to get under it. There are times that I'm glad that I use a bucket to peel stumps out with, because the width of the bucket, you can get it under that stump and cut more of those roots underneath. Where if I had like a stumper or a frost stripper or something like that, I'm limited to, just what I can get on the sides. But with this bucket, I can get under there some. Get some more roots ripped. Try to push down with the boom and curl the bucket at the same time and break some more of the big roots. Almost. Wants to. of clay in it. Slimy, hard to grab. Set that over there for now. Got a little D2 Cat dozer over there next to that collapsed camper. Then there's a RD7 dozer sitting over by them two trucks. The story I got on the RD7, and it is in really rough shape. I think it's too far past doing anything with it. Trust me, I looked it over pretty well. The story behind it is supposedly it's been sitting there for 60 plus years. The owner of the property, the old owner of the property, came out and was talking to us the other day, and he said something had happened to it. He's not sure what happened, and his dad had parked it, and that's where it sat because he remembers playing on it as a kid. He thinks it's actually sat there for 70 years and hasn't moved. I don't know. I don't know if that story's completely true because it's got a track off, and it just don't look like it's sat there that long. It's not like growing into the landscape. It's not, it just doesn't seem like it's been there that long. I can see maybe 20 years, maybe, but I don't think it's been there no 60 years. But I don't want to say that the story's not right. And supposedly his dad bought it fairly new. So I don't know. I know one track is off of it for sure. It's off one of the back sprockets. Be in my way anymore. To rake all that up with Bobcat, get rid of it, old deck or something. I don't know what they had going on back here. Was an RD6, I would be taking it home, but I don't know if I want an RD7. The RD6s are just really cool. What I look up, they were made like 1935 to 1939 or something, so that it's an old machine. Take a lot of raking to clean this up when we're done. But we'll get it. It'll be farmable when we're done. wants to just stick. Almost. Well, we're going to be working a short afternoon. It's supposed to start raining pretty hard anyways, which it already is. So this is going to be a couple part video. That's alright. Yeah. Let's take that one to the designated stump spot. There's too many fine roots holding the dirt on. Probably gonna have to haul some dirt in here. This might be a little too low to farm. That one's got a lot of roots. finish what I can, and we're going to head out for the day. So this one will be continued on at a later time in another video. So thanks for watching. Greatly appreciate it. See you all in the next one.